Hey, so just checking in with you guys to see how you're feeling today because, again, it's like nothing's really significantly showing up on the charts. The Schumann had a little bit of activity, got as high as the power of 29, which is not huge because we've been through bigger spikes before than that. But I'm telling you, there's some funky goings on happening right now. This is, for those of us who are energetically sensitive, we're feeling almost like an attack, like almost like a energetic blanket. Yeah, like it's interesting because I can tell you that my connection with my guides, with spirit, has been like spotty, like meaning most of the time I can feel them very quickly, very near, very right. Like if I was doing this video right now, they'd be like giving me, information and insights and guidance. And it's almost like there's been a blanket that's been put there that is stopping that transmission, if that makes sense. Kind of like, when it's a really cloudy day and the satellites are not working great, that's kind of how it feels. Which is interesting because when that happens, when we get that like disconnect from our guides, right, from our navigation system, it definitely can like put us in like an open space, right? Which then can kind of make us feel vulnerable, can kind of bring in a bunch of different emotions, right? We can be easily triggered because, and see now they're coming through, that things are like closer to the surface, right? They're just saying superficial wounds. And let me know if you're noticing that, if it wasn't enough for all of the stuff that you're feeling, like the collective energy, especially if you are somebody who picks up collective energy, but some of the humans are not doing so good right now, right? Some of the light and love people are not doing so good right now. They are definitely struggling. We're definitely seeing, other sides come through, right? We're definitely seeing the darkness come through, right? Which is not meaning that these people are bad inherently, but it means that they have some stuff to clean up, right? There's some energetic work that needs to be clean up on aisle 9, right? That's kind of what's going on right now. So just pay attention, because Spirit's saying to me, there's going to be a lot of people that are having knee-jerk reactions to things. Make sure that you're not one of them. Make sure that comes up for you, that you're like, oh yeah, I remember Jody and Spirit were telling us about the knee-jerk reactions because of the superficial wounds. And that's not me. So instead of, they're saying polarizing. So instead of zoning in on that, I'm going to kind of like go back to the within. I'm going to go back to the world within. I'm going to go back to my inner self, because if you've been doing the work, like if you've been doing that place is, your sacred space, right? Like that is, if you close your eyes, everything else kind of goes away. If you can hear my puppies in the back, it's not me heavy breathing, it's them. But if we do that, so I had somebody ask me the other day about how do we rest our nerves? Because when this big energy system's coming through and we're feeling highly emotional and there's all of that stuff, it affects our nervous systems, right? Because our nervous system is like a freeway of sensory experiences, right? And so it's really the easiest, simplest thing to do is just with an intention, just close your eyes. It really helps if you put your hand on your heart, right? Connecting with your heart center, just closing your eyes, bringing your attention to your breath, right? Grounding yourself, centering yourself. And you can start by saying grounded, protected, cleared, so that you're creating the intention of what you would like with all of the frequencies that are buzzing around you, right? And then just simply with your eyes closed, it doesn't have to be like an hour. This doesn't have to be a long time. just with your eyes closed. I'm resting my nerves. I'm resting my nerves. And when you do that, the light comes in, right? Remember, everything is a resonance. So if you bring that kind of dialed down a little bit, bring the chaos down, bring the high emotions down a little bit, you get centered and grounded. It opens up your frequency, and then it allows the light to come in. So we need to do that. And especially if you're somebody who is energetically sensitive, because we're picking up on the collective. And when we're picking up on the collective, Spirit's just calling it distortion. When we're picking up on that distortion, it will also distort the way we're perceiving things. Does that make sense to you guys? So be mindful right now that the way you're seeing things may not be as clear as you think it is. Feel into that, because if it's like something that is emotionally being triggered by you, if you're feeling really strongly about this, whatever it is that's coming up for you, Spirit's just saying that's not you. Remind yourself that's not you. That's part of the distortion, right? It's part of this distortion that's coming in, that's messing up your energy field. And some of us are feeling this physically. Like some of us are still really feeling that wobbly, that, the feeling between the realms. I know, I've heard lots of people say, and I've had this, my husband and I were just talking about this morning. Seriously, I'm just going to have him on the podcast, because the conversations that we have are very enlightening. But we were just talking about, so he had we call it an episode, but he had this morning, there was obviously somebody from the spirit realm that came into his space, was in his face, and it scared him. And he woke up, swearing and ready to go fight whoever it was that was coming through. And I was saying to him this week, I've had these experiences before because I'm a psychic medium, and that kind of comes with the, with the job. You're open to all realms. But I had a night this week where I was literally just going to bed, just closing my eyes, and all of a sudden there were several faces in front of me, very close in my face, so close that one particular person's face, I could see the detail of their nose. That's how close they were. And I wasn't scared because, like I said, this happens before. I understand it. There's no ill will or malice coming from it. It's just almost like there's a window of light, and they're looking in. What's in there? And it's interesting because Tom said the same thing. He said when he looked at the guy's face, it was in front of him, the guy looked at him like, "You can see me?" It was that kind of reaction. And so when I had all of the faces in my face, I knew to say, "Doors closed. You were too close to me. Out. I do not allow you into my energy. I do not allow you into my space. Out, closing, clearing, deleting, gone." And then I brought my auric field up. I brought my energetic shield up, and they were gone. They just left. So if you're having any experiences like that, we're just Spirit saying those bleed throughs are still happening. Why all of a sudden is that happening so much? I don't know, right? I don't know. They're not giving me, it's just, and Spirit's even saying right now, it's all jumbled. Everything is jumbled and chaotic, and you don't know which way is up and which way is down. So be mindful about that. It's just, again, that sacred, they're just saying the sacred space. Go within your sacred space, because you will be safe there. You're always safe there. It's where you can recharge your light. It's where you can recharge your battery. It's where you can reconnect with your higher self, right? This is important. It's important for us to do right now, especially if you are feeling unanchored, Spirit is saying. So especially if you are feeling unanchored, highly emotional, easily triggered, right? All of that, remember, that's part of the agenda, right? Whenever you're feeling any of that stuff, you are in the matrix. You are in the agenda. You have been taken out of the light. Remind yourself about that. No matter how convincing your ego and your pain body is that you are right about this, trust your intuition. And remember, intuition and emotion are two different things. Remember, if you're trusting your intuition, it's a very neutral feeling. It's not a very strong and very strongly committed to that. Remember, there's a difference, huge, huge difference. But this is interesting energy. It's interesting, and we'll see how it plays out, and we'll see what happens and what it's doing for us. And as we get more insights, we'll share this with you. These guys want to go for a walk. Get outside, get some exercise, even though it's cloudy and rainy here on Southern Ontario. Send you guys huge blessings.